Yo, what up guys? Welcome back to Sneaker Stories. As always, I'm your host Chris Jack. Today talking my top winter kicks. Winter suddenly arrived here in South Africa. Well, at least autumn, kind of winter. Anyway, it's raining outside and it's got me thinking about what are my top winter kicks that I like to wear when things get a little bit wet and things get a little bit cold out here. Now, for those of you that are watching from outside of South Africa, just to explain our climate a little bit better so you don't roast me in the comments for not wearing boots and things like that, we don't really get snow out here, at least on ground level, so that changes things a little bit for us here. We're not necessarily rolling around in 950s or any other kind of boots and stuff like that too often, so you can still get away with wearing kicks. Obviously, it's just better to wear things that aren't going to get completely wrecked in water or rain or things like that. So in today's episode, I'm just going to take you through my top picks for winter coming up this year from my own personal collection. Alright, the Nike Air Fear God 1s. Now these I picked up last year just in time for winter and they were absolutely epic on foot. Super warm, the materials are great. You do have suede in the toe box, which is not always the best thing for winter kicks in my opinion. Although it is warm, it can get quite damaged with water, so some Crep Protect on here or any sneaker protector spray is going to do it wonders. But overall, they are a boot shoe, so these are really nice and comfortable and warm as well. And then obviously you raised up off the ground as well with this fat ass midsole on it. And obviously from a colorway perspective, they're super easy to keep clean. Keeping things high, the Yeezy 750. Now this has always been one of my favorite Yeezys of all time. Also a high top version as mentioned, so a lot of warmth in here all the way up your foot. Obviously these do come in other colorways as well, which might be better suited for winter, but these are definitely my favorite. I'm not too precious about messing them up. The Air Jordan 3, definitely one of my favorites for winter. These are so warm on foot no matter what the colorway is. The majority of Air Jordan 3s are all leather, and this particular colorway, the JTH Bio Beige, is just perfect for that autumn winter vibes. It's also lined with this beautiful sort of long hair suede on the inside of it, so it's super comfy, super warm, and really looks the part for winter looks. Now the Air Jordan 1 is obviously one of my favorite winter shoes, obviously being a high top, being very warm on foot and with a leather upper. These I've obviously got in a whole host of different colorways. This one is obviously just one of my favorites for winter because of its color palette. However, the things like the Travis Scotts and stuff up there, I'll also generally wear those throughout winter as well. One of the shoes I generally wear the most, also just from a colorway perspective, are these Y3 Kaiwas. They're obviously very high up off the ground. They do have a leather toe box in it, so water's not really going to be getting through there too much. And one of my favorite parts about it is the neoprene sock-like construction on this particular pair. It really hugs your ankle, keeps things nice and tight and warm as well. Similar speaking, the 700 range over here, this is the V1 obviously, but also the V3 as well. These are both two shoes that I'm going to be wearing a hell of a lot. The mauve color on this particular one is really nice for winter. I find this just works with everything. It wasn't too much of a popular colorway with a lot of people, but for me, they're definitely one of my favorites. Something a little bit more winterized, this is the Kith and Nonative, or Ronnie Fieg and Nonative's take on the Consortium Exchange Tour with Adidas on the Ultra Boost Mid. This particular pair is the ATR version, so you do have a more rugged outsole on this particular pair. It's obviously all blacked out. You do have a whole bunch of 3M hints in the pattern of the prime knit and the laces and the heel section of the shoe, which has almost got that Xeno feel to it. So you're getting a lot of cool reflection on this particular pair under certain lighting conditions. But overall speaking, it's a great colorway for winter. It's a sock-like construction and the prime knit is actually quite warm on this particular pair. And speaking about that mid, obviously the Aspen, which was the previous release on that collaboration from Ronnie Fieg and Kith and Adidas with the Consortium Tour. This particular colorway, this sort of jersey knit from Aspen is, I mean, you just can't go wrong with this particular pair anytime in winter. And while we're at it with Ronnie Fieg, Kith and Adidas, this is their Trail Response Boost from the Aspen pack as well. Obviously, this is just something a lot more winterized. It's also a neoprene booty style, which is really comfortable on foot and obviously waterproof to some degree as well. You do have quite a bit of suede on here, but I generally use these as trail running shoes as it is, so I'm not too precious about messing them up or anything. The colorway is dark enough to get away with most sort of dirt stains that you could pick up while wearing these shoes. And I guess while we're at it, it's just the friends and family version of the Nonative and Kith edition over here. This is obviously just a little bit of a flex for winter if you want to rock these in the rain or whatever, but the same sort of theory applies with the ATR outsole, and the colorway of it being completely tonally black, apart from that heel cap over here, makes them a really awesome and easy wear in winter. Now, many people might not think Ultra Boost are really too good to wear in winter because they are quite a breathable shoe, at least most of them. However, I do find these particular colorways, whether it's the Hype Beast, the Woodward, or the Reigning Champ 1.0s over here, really nice to wear in winter. I probably actually wear them the most, to be honest, just because I wear Ultra Boost pretty much every day of my life, and yeah, that doesn't really stop with winter. So I generally just go for the colorways that aren't going to really pick up too much dirt, at least as far as the upper materials go. And overall speaking, I generally just do wear darker colors, lots of blacks and stuff like that during winter, so these just match the fit perfectly. Now, we have already spoken about those Air Fear Guards 1. This is sort of a lower top version of that, which is the Fear Guard Raid. Again, the same sort of principles apply with the materials between this pair and that pair. However, you've got neoprene in the toe box as well, which is really awesome for repelling water to some degree, and these are obviously really warm on foot. Definitely a solid pick as well. Now, when it comes to 4Ds, these are definitely the ones I wear the most in winter. I think it's just because of that sock-like construction. It comes really high on the ankle, and they are actually quite warm on foot, even though these are quite breathable. I'm not really too phased about water and stuff like in the midsole of the shoe. It generally just goes in and comes out straight away. So if I was feeling like wearing 4D during any kind of wet days or something, it would either be these OG Alpha Edges or perhaps the OG 4D runner. Now, every now and then, it's good to dial things up on foot with a luxury trainer if you're going out somewhere at night, but you're still a bit worried about messing the kicks up. The Balenciaga Speed Trainer are definitely the go-tos. They're super comfortable with the sock-like construction. Obviously, the colorway is very easy to get away with in winter as far as dirt and water and things like that are concerned. But overall, they just fit the look and feel that I generally go for in winter. And keeping with the colors, the Air Max 1, this is the Safari 2016 edition. These are also super warm on foot. They're nice and furry on the sock liner of the shoe, so I really find that these are really nice to wear in winter, obviously with a color palette to go with as well, generally just bringing in those autumn colors. I think these are an absolute winner. Obviously, there are quite a few other variations as well. You've obviously got the Animals, the Keep Ripping Stop Slippings, and those Toronto Canada the 6. Now, when things get really rough out there, these are the shoes I generally go to. They're kind of like indestructible and super durable. The Meter See You Later from the Consortium Tour in around 2016, if I'm not mistaken. But the materials on these, the story behind these are absolutely amazing. You've obviously got a neoprene bootie on there as well, and obviously the ruggedness of that outsole and the whole silhouette of the shoe are just crazy cool for winter. I think these are definitely one of my favorite shoes of all time. And last but not least, something you probably haven't seen for a long time, this is the Tubular Doom Prime Knit from Kith on the Consortium Tour in around 2015. It's quite an old shoe, but it's got really awesome details of Just Us here in the heel section, and then this sort of felty material that overlays the Prime Knit sock-like construction, which comes up really high on winter. For me, these just scream cozy. They're really awesome on foot, and definitely a firm favorite. Although I do not actually own this particular pair myself, it is a friend of mine's, unfortunately, but I thought it would be worth mentioning as one of the cooler shoes for winter itself. So that's pretty much it for my winter rotation, if you would call it that. Obviously, there are lots of other shoes that I generally go through, but these are just some that come to mind immediately when I do think of winter. I hope you guys have enjoyed it. If you do have any further questions, let me know in the comments below, and also let me know what your favorite winter shoes are down there in the comments as well. But that's it from me, guys. Please give the video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and don't forget to subscribe right here. Thanks again for watching. I'll catch you on the next one.